All right, so first, I'd like to thank everyone for attending today. We truly appreciate the support you've given us, and we really look forward to continuing to work with everybody as we move forward with the campaign. Also, I was reminded a short while ago that good government doesn't come cheap, and neither does a good campaign treasurer. And we really appreciate any and all support we receive. For those of you I have not yet met, I'm Sean Flynn, and I serve officially as Brian's campaign treasurer. However, I have also served in almost every other capacity on the campaign. And if you'd like to join the team, I have to say, it has been a privilege to be part of a team dedicated to accomplishing unselfish goals. I hope that my name and face have become synonymous with Brian and with the campaign for many of you here. And if I haven't had the opportunity to meet with you yet, please clear your calendars because it's just a matter of time. Brian and I became friends 7 years ago at basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia. During our first conversation, he told me he left his career as a practicing attorney to chase his dream of becoming an Army Ranger. Having similar ambitions, we quickly became friends as we both shared the work ethic, integrity, and courage to achieve those dreams. Furthermore, Brian was a true team player and an exemplary leader who could always be counted on, especially in the times of stress and heavy pressure, to help others reach their potential. From that point, Brian and I were a team, as we then successfully commissioned as officers and subsequently completed training that included airborne school and finally Ranger School. After completing training, Brian and I diverged paths when he was assigned to the 173rd Airborne Brigade in Vicenza, Italy, and I was stationed at Fort Carson, Colorado with the 4th Infantry Division. Although we were stationed thousands of miles apart, both of our units deployed to Afghanistan in 2012, and we would again find ourselves as peers, this time under quite different circumstances, as we both served as platoon leaders in combat. Not to my surprise, following our deployments, Brian was selected to serve in the 75th Ranger Regiment, a unit with legendary history, best known for their heroics in combat, incredible leadership, and their motto, Rangers Lead the Way. Less than 1 year later, we would again find ourselves deployed to Afghanistan. When all was written, Brian would have 3 deployments to Afghanistan and done his part in our nation's longest war. If there's one thing I can say I learned about Brian throughout all that time, he's always exceeded my expectations as a peer, as a professional, and especially as a friend. In search of stability, Brian transitioned out of the military, but still wanted to support the warfighter as he took a job at Booz Allen right here in St. Mary's County. He told me he hit the jackpot by finding such a great location, an amazing company, and a truly amazing community. Wasting no time, Brian got involved in every way he could, just as he's done everywhere else he's lived. He felt the people of St. Mary's County shared his values, toughness, and grit. In feeling that way, he believes he will embody our character in the Maryland House of Delegates. Today, as we officially start the journey into the world of civil service, I want to ask a few things of you and our community. First, continue to have high expectations of Brian as your representative. Second, hold Brian to the highest standards of integrity, commitment, work ethic, and moral courage. Third, stay involved in the community. And lastly, maintain communication with Brian so he can truly be your voice in Annapolis. I ask you to do these things because Brian will then have the opportunity to exceed your expectations just as he always does. Thank you all again for being here today. And now, please welcome your next representative for the Maryland House of Delegates, District 29B, Brian Crosby.
Thank you, Sean. Thank you all for coming. I would especially like to thank my family, specifically my parents, for driving well over 3 hours to support me. Thank you to the active duty service members and veterans in attendance, as well as their continued service. To Sean Davidson, I know he skipped out here because he's got something going on at the play, and the entire rescue squad, not just for hosting this event, but for their continued dedication and service to our community. Many of you do not know this, but these guys are hustlers. Last year, answering over 7,500 calls as a completely volunteer force. To the current and former elected officials, the representatives, it is not lost on me that some of you have driven well over 2 hours to be here. Thank you. To our next delegate from 29C, Julia Nichols. To our next county commissioners, Anne Marie Abel, and Tim Ridgel. And while he hasn't filed, we know it's coming, the next president of the Board of County Commissioners, Howard Thompson. To my Booz Allen family, I couldn't be more humbled to be part of your team, and it means the world to me that so many of you are here. And lastly, to our entire team that has been with me from the start: Sean, Kara, Terrence, Brandon, Terrence Lacey, Alex, Jessa Mathesini, and Brian O'Sullivan. If I missed anyone, it was not intentional. I'd like to thank all of you for coming. Today, I formally announce my candidacy for the Maryland House of Delegates, District 29B. Before I talk about the challenges we face as a community and my plans to address them, I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I was raised Catholic to two teenage parents as they struggled to make ends meet. My dad worked in the food service industry while my mom cared for the sick as a nurse. I often came home to a babysitter until my sister and I were old enough to take care of our three younger siblings. Still, I was fortunate. Through their hard work, my parents gave me the opportunity to participate in athletics and get the best education possible. Their countless hours made me lucky enough to receive an athletic scholarship to college, earn a business degree, a law degree, and eventually join the military. After serving 5 years as a U.S. Army Ranger, with 3 deployments to Afghanistan and countless training events, I found a home here in St. Mary's. I interviewed with Andrew Fitzgerald and Danny Alton at Booz Allen, where they seemed perplexed that I showed up on their doorstep, but they still took a risk and hired me for a financial management position. The past few years have been a great learning experience, and being part of a firm that is actively involved in the community and holds itself to a set of values is truly humbling. My life experiences have prepared me for this day. Having grown up with 2 working parents in the middle class, I understand the struggles of hard-working families like those in the southern part of our family. As one myself, I know the struggles young professionals like teachers and engineers face to find affordable housing. As one that has climbed the ladder, I understand the stress families with children in Title I schools endure. Having served as a Ranger, I understand the importance of our military, especially the great men and women that wear the uniform on Pax River every day. Having shouldered the burden in excess of $100,000 in student loan debt, I have felt the same anxiety that recent graduates in our county feel, especially those at St. Mary's College. I want to enter government to serve the people's interest, not a political party's. Instead of focusing on differences between each other, I will focus on the issues that unite us and improve our quality of life. A better infrastructure plan that promotes higher standard of living. A better education system that provides the best outcome for all children, regardless of background. And a diverse economy in which all people participate. I will make practical, evidence-based policy decisions. I believe as your representative that I will embody your values, toughness, and grit. I am willing to work with all elected officials, regardless of political party. It does not matter if you are a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, or unaffiliated. If you have a good idea, I will work with you to get it implemented. Our community's answers come from within. The focus of our campaign is getting back to basics. That is, avoiding the partisan rifts and distractions to bear down on issues that truly matter. Despite the single-issue hypersensitivity of the current political landscape, most issues that impact us in our daily lives are not inherently nonpartisan. Roads, schools, and the economy have no political party. First, we must invest in infrastructure to create economic development, employ Marylanders, and enhance safety to improve our local communities. Our population has outpaced the current infrastructure, causing many of you to sit in traffic while you'd rather be home spending time with your families. And it also makes us vulnerable in future rounds of military-based realignment and closure reviews. Second, we must improve our education system so that we provide the best outcomes for all children and retain their talent after they graduate. St. Mary's County is 6th in the state of Maryland in median income, 22nd in the United States. Yet funding per pupil ranks near the bottom in our state. In 29B alone, there are 27 trailers outside of the 9 schools. Not the best environment to foster learning for our children. It should shock the state's conscience that your students are spending the vast majority of their developmental years learning in a trailer. Lastly, we must create an economy that highlights the resources that Pax River Naval Air Station affords us, instead of simply surviving on it. My vision is to enhance our identity as the technology corridor of Maryland and attract more innovative companies that embrace that identity. We should strive for policies that promote the entrepreneurial spirit and encourage business owners to take chances. My platform will evolve as I continue to listen to your concerns and ideas, but it will always center around citizens, focused on leadership, grounded in shared values and a shared vision. The bottom line, people seek leaders that have a vision, are rational, steadfast, and confident under pressure. It's that kind of leadership I learned as a Ranger. Looking around at all of you gathered here with a sense of common purpose, I think of my unit in Afghanistan. During a patrol on a summer day, we made contact with a small group of insurgents. I still vividly remember hearing the sound of gunfire. When I came up on a group of young soldiers, they hurriedly explained to me that the enemy was in a wood line a few hundred meters away. We quickly designed a plan and then refined it. I could see their nervousness and feel their angst as we prepared to act. Admittedly, I too was nervous and scared. Understanding that projecting confidence was important, I collected myself, looked at them, and said, let's do this. As I prepare to climb in the political ring for the first time, I recognize the challenges that lie ahead. As I have met countless people, they tell me they are unnerved by the rhetoric and chaos in politics. I empathize with them, but believe I have the qualifications and leadership experience to offer a steady hand to find practical solutions to our complex problems. Let's do this. Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. May God bless you, our troops, and the United States of America.